Holy shit!
We are losing objective butter.
What's everyone doing there? Battlefield 1, a massive success for DICE and EA Games. Followed up by Battlefield 5, which was probably just as big of a blunder. Now the question on everybody's minds in the Battlefield community is of course, how will Battlefield 6 do, and what does DICE and EA have to do in order to repeat and even surpass the success of Battlefield 1? Hi guys, Mattiace, and yes, we are back with another Battlefield 1 video. And today I would like to bring up the question about Battlefield 6. I realized that more and more of you guys are wondering about it, and I want to take the opportunity with this video to formally enter the discussions and the speculations. And for the ones of you who has been asking me this question repeatedly, never to receive a satisfying answer, well, I simply can just say that since I haven't found any reliable information about Battlefield 6, I've stayed away from speculations and discussions, but I'm pretty sure that the result of the two most recent games in the franchise is going to play a massive part. Get fokkin rekt! Now, as is, I think it's pretty safe to say that Battlefield 1 was a success, Battlefield 5 really wasn't, and I also think that the first one of the two heavily affected the result of the next one. Now, if you didn't know it, Battlefield 1 is about World War I, while Battlefield 5, that was released a couple of years later, is about World War II. Now, obviously, it's impossible for anybody to say with certainty why one game was very much more successful than the other game, but most people will probably agree with historical accuracy being one of the main components. Now, by the time that Battlefield 1 had been out for a few months, it was clear that a lot of people really appreciated how DICE were able to capture a certain amount of historical accuracy, while at the same time giving us a game that was fun, exciting and immersive to play on 3 different platforms without sacrificing too much for the hardcore first-person shooters in order to appeal to a broad audience. Now, what DICE and EA probably didn't expect was the massive amount of interest that this game piqued when it comes to our recent human history. Now, for months and months and months, probably over a year, people were basically flooding the Battlefield 1 Reddit with a variety of different historical, somewhat relevant facts about World War I. I have seen, I don't even know how many pictures of weapons, teenage Battlefield 1 players following their parents to a museum and seeing an old tank from World War I, or one of those many things that caught my attention was an old love letter that somebody found from their, I think, great-grandfather who was a soldier in World War I, who wrote it to, obviously, their great-grandmother. And stuff like this just went on and on and on like a never-ending stream. And fact of the matter is, if you go to the Battlefield 1 Reddit today, you will still see that kind of posts and pictures and whatnot. And I think it's very, very surprising that DICE and EA decided to completely neglect this when they made their next game in the franchise. However, what is even more surprising and probably even more disappointing is when the failure of Battlefield 5 was a fact, there was no denying it anymore, the way DICE reacted to it was even more surprising than the failure itself. Now, denying facts, repeating a bunch of decades-old racist accusations, and projecting ignorance, yeah, we all know that this works in politics, but when you're trying to sell a game, and you first, very successfully, pique your player base interest in history, something that I think you should be aware of. Well, when you do that, there is certain limits to how much you can deviate from historical accuracy without taking negative consequences. And with Battlefield 5, those limits were surpassed many, many times over. Yes, I know, we all have the rights to our own opinions, we all have the rights to express ourselves, but no. No matter how convinced you are in your political beliefs, there was no Asian women fighting in the front lines in the German army in World War II. There simply wasn't. Now, does that matter? Is it really that important? It's just a game after all. Well, the expectations from your own community looking forward to Battlefield 5, well, those expectations mainly came from people playing Battlefield 1. And yes, I know. We live in a time where people get offended. facts are offensive, and the people that gets most offended have a tendency to also make the most noise. Now, it's perfectly understandable that you want to be inclusive, it's perfectly understandable that you want to avoid offending people, but then at least be honest about what you do and why you do it. Don't project ignorance, and accusing everybody proving you wrong for being a racist, well, again, it seems to be working well in politics, but maybe not so much when making somewhat historical games. So maybe it's all over now. Yes, somebody from DICE got fired, a few years have passed, and it's all water under the bridge, right? Well, one thing we, the players, should learn is that if we don't like it, well, we just simply shouldn't buy it. Am I right? Yeah, I seriously doubt that we will get any more of those kinds of statements from any of the employees on EA, DICE, anytime soon. What do you guys think? Aside from that, do you think that the Battlefield franchise will benefit from the implementation of Battle Royale? Yeah, I'm not sure if you even remember it, but they actually did eventually implement a Battle Royale in Battlefield 5, and for the ones of us who do remember it, well, it's one of those things that we probably could just as well forget. Now, Battle Royale was not in the original Battlefield 5, and this was one of the explanations we got from some of the more outspoken people from DICE about why Battlefield 5 didn't do as well as expected. Of course, there's no way saying whether or not this actually is true. As far as I know, most people that I've talked to say that they really do not want EA and DICE to waste any of their time and money on Battle Royale. But if they do it, which I think they actually will, then I'm hoping that at least they make it playable. Or well, in this case, with Battle Royale, I hope at least DICE makes the game lootable. Now, I'm very curious about what you guys actually think about the upcoming Battlefield game. What are your biggest hopes? What are your biggest expectations? What are your biggest fears? Do you believe that DICE have learned from their previous mistakes? Do you maybe think that Battlefield 5 was not a mistake at all? Maybe you actually enjoy the game really a lot, and you would like them to continue in the same direction. Whatever you hope, whatever you fear, whatever you believe, whatever you think you know, please share it in the comment section below, and we'll continue the discussion there. The video is going to continue with some more collected moments from the awesome game Battlefield 1. Thanks for watching.
Sperr gesichtet! Feindsoldat in Sicht! MG, feindlich!
Get fokkin rekt!
Return to the combat area.
Flugabwehr gesichtet!
Oh, what? He's alive! I didn't kill him. I just destroyed the thingy.
Ich habe Sichtkontakt zu einem feindlichen Soldaten.
Ah. Yeah, I did it. It's really hard on this map, actually. Hey, Hamureg, how's it going?
Ammunition.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, we decided to get that guy, and we did. There we go. Got one. If you want a ranged weapon, then you should have like maybe a self-starter or
You see
something.
him? One of their soldiers.
If you want to shoot them at close range, it's either auto-loading, the extended magazine, or...
Looking at a plane. That's first aid for you.
We have taken objective Duff.
Das ist ein feindlicher Speer! Hier, erste Hilfe. Ich sehe mir die Wunde mal an.
Ah, shit! No.
Vorsicht, Flugzeug!
Get fokkin rekt!